Guys, I spend way too much money on unhealthy food getting delivered to my house using those apps.
Service fees are crazy.
I know, it's too expensive. But that's where our sponsor comes in, Huel. These are basically no prep time meals where you can still stay healthy on the go or when you have no time.
Yeah, I've had Huel here in the office for well over a year. It's perfect for when I forget my lunch or just need an extra meal in the middle of the afternoon.
No, yeah, I've been using it as a post-workout meal. It's got 40 grams of protein, so it really helps me recover and get these big muscles.
So if you want to save time, save money, and still eat healthy, you can use our code AngryJoe below for 15% off your first Huel order. Plus, you'll get a free welcome package which has got a t-shirt and the shaker, $40 value. That's code AngryJoe for 15% off at Huel.com/AngryJoe. Having a super busy life should not prevent you from eating healthy. So check out Huel today. Thank you so much to our new sponsors, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What's up, guys? This is our review of Devil May Cry, the TV series on Netflix. A few of you asked us, hey, what do you guys think of Devil May Cry? This is by South Korean studio Mir, and it is done by Adi Shankar, who was the producer on the first few bits of Castlevania, which was a very successful series on Netflix. I loved it a lot. I gave like a 10 out of 10 on that one. So Netflix is continuing their, anime investment, and we get one based on Devil May Cry. Now, I've seen it not go down quite as well as I think amongst fans for Devil May Cry. And I understand why, because it's not really based on the video games. This is a whole new kind of interpretation. It does a little bit of Devil May Cry 3 prequel manga. It does a little bit after Devil May Cry 1. But mainly it's this guy, Adi Shankar's interpretation of Devil May Cry. And what could I say? I could say, well, it's mixed for me. It's good at times, but I think it's an Elseworlds kind of story of Devil May Cry, and it just sucks because the thing has great animation at times. The music works really well. Sometimes there's some bad choices, but and with all of this talent and this style and the animation, I think it would have been so much better if it stuck to the video game, some of the source material, instead of injecting some of this. Now, I had high highs, I had low lows, and I was pretty positive on the series up until the end and the final bits there, where it kind of falls apart. I'd recommend watching this in 2 sittings, not fucking marathoning it like we did.
Yeah, I started getting bored.
I could feel your disinterest there towards the end, and it's mainly because I think of the writing, some of the joke. Here's the thing. Is Dante... First, let me say, I'm wearing the outfit, and it looks terrible because
it's the only hair we had.
We put it together in 3 seconds, okay? But basically, there's a lot of jokes and one-liners. Dante is supposed to be this happy-go-lucky, over-the-top, little wacky at times, just like the video games. And his one-liners, and it's just not as funny as it thinks it is. No. The one-liners don't work quite as well as I had hoped. I have a problem with the portrayal of Lady. She just gets on my fucking nerves here with fucking this, motherfucker that.
They're really fucking hard to kill. Devil spawn, motherfucker. From a bomb going off in its fucking neck. You just happen to be walking around with half the key to fucking hell on your neck. This dumb fuck devil spawn is Even you couldn't make up something that fucking stupid. Sick motherfucker. I shut down your fucking Nazi Frankenstein lab.
Just constant profanity. I heard a little bit of this before I watched, and I said, it's not going to bother me. I curse all the time. But it really did bother me.
You do it tastefully.
Yeah, I don't think the portrayal of Lady... to make me hate Lady is... to make me, a little annoyed with Lady, it takes some getting used to.
Why the fuck haven't you done it already? Because of course you fucking did. You threw me through a fucking window. Blood is the exact fucking thing the rabbit needs to jumpstart his apocalypse, you demonic dumbass.
And unfortunately, I'm there. And ultimately, I think the series needed a lot more Dante and a lot less U.S. government bullshit. I liked it when it was Dante. I liked it when demon hunters and bounty hunters were attacking him and his apartment. Those are some great scenes. When you keep it to, the whole demon hunting thing, it does get a little wacky. Now, and I'll say a lot of the episodes are some are really good and others not so much. Episode 6, I think, is the best episode of this whole series. It has the high highs, and it's primarily no talking, which kind of shows you that the best episode of the series is when they're not forced to write dialogue, because you're getting the emotions through the animation, through the songs, through the character, actions, and then it just shows you writing dialogue is hard, especially for Dante. If you don't have it, you don't have it, and I think it's very mixed on that front. Now, I will say, because this is a different interpretation of Dante, and it's this different universe, it is better than DMC. It is better than DMC Devil May Cry.
You're attractive, little witch, you're beautiful, you're wickedness.
What was that? Back in
2007?
2013 or something like that. It was bad. So it's better than that. However, just God damn it, it's there for you. If you had just stuck closer to the source material, I think not only would you have gotten, the fan base that you did here, but you would have also gotten the hardcore gamers and the loyal fans. So yeah, pretty mixed on my end. Certainly not as good as Castlevania, at least the initial seasons of Castlevania. Nocturne is less good. This may be better than Nocturne. I don't know, because the battles in Nocturne is pretty good, but I don't like the rest of Nocturne. What did you guys think of Devil May Cry?
Honestly, I was not very impressed with this. There's better animes than there. These just seem like one-note characters. I wanted Dante to be a little bit cheesy, a little bit over the top. Kind of really wasn't. Lady is like, oh, I'm helping killing demons. All demons are evil. That was her whole note the entire series, so you don't really care. There's some cool moments, but like you said, a lot of the times it just kind of dragged for me. I do like how they do old classic rock, Limp Bizkit.
Oh yeah,
Rage Against the Machine.
No, it's angst against the
The
something.
device?
The device.
That's our era, so we like it.
Classic rock.
Papa Roach, classic rock now.
Papa Roach.
Yeah.
Classic.
That Butterfly song from the One Hit Wonder band, Come My Lady, whatever that
Crazy,
song
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Crazy
no.
Town.
Yeah. It sucks because like I wanted to like Kevin's character a little bit better, the vice president.
Kevin Conroy, the late, great, legendary Kevin Conroy, is the vice president in this series. I was surprised because I didn't know he had other things coming out. This is one of
filmed
those
it a
last
long
things.
time ago.
And you can kind of tell the difference in voice acting. You got a good voice actor like Kevin Conroy, and then you kind of immediately put it up against the president because he's the vice president.
Yeah,
a voice
it's
actor like the
supposed to be
president, you're like,
stupid.
it's supposed to be stupid, but you could tell that some of the people around him are weaker actors.
Yeah, it just sucks because honestly, like I'm with you on that. I don't really care about the government stuff, and he's a big focal point in this series, and I don't really like it. Best one was this 6 for me, episode 6.
Yeah. I mean, the Halo rule, the Rings of Power rule all apply here, where it's like, if you are going to change things, you have to do a killer job. Otherwise, I feel like I'm reading your bad fucking Tumblr fan fiction. And I was bored, and I felt like I was watching someone's bad fan fiction. They're changing some of these characters in ways that I didn't quite like. And you can do that if I'm liking the other things in there. It's just, I feel like it was a 4-hour waste of my fucking time, because there were some really cool scenes. Like, I love the Dante's voice actor. He's from Akira. He's from a bunch of amazing things. There's some scenes that have me
writing,
and there's just some great voice acting, the great music, great action scenes. But then they start talking, and I'm just disappointed. It's like, this is peak Netflix, the shit that I constantly give. This was written for people who are on their phones. This is written for people who are like scrolling TikTok, because the characters are telling you everything that they're doing. They're constantly spewing nonsense exposition like you're an idiot, or like you're just not paying attention. So this is presented in a way where they have no respect for your intelligence, or they're expecting you to be reading a book or on Reddit or on Instagram or doing something else. So it's like, while I agree with both of you, I think that there's some really cool things here. I think that there's enough bad things here that I don't think it was worth my time watching it, and I'm not at all looking for season 2, especially because Kevin Conroy is not going to be there, so we're losing a lot of.
Gotta get a different voice actor.
Yeah, and so it's like,
I
don't like the direction that they went, where it's like, this is all about the secret agency, and like the character changes. So it's like, I wasted my time.
Yeah, and so if you're a fan of Devil May Cry, then you should probably watch. I like it a little bit better, but by the end, you know how we rate episodes individually, and I'll rate something like an 8, and then as you go along, and then you take the big whole of the series and the message and how it wraps up, and then you go back and individually relate. I think the whole thing takes like a whole -1 across the board by the end, unfortunately. Whereas I'm enjoying bits and pieces of the individual episodes. This is kind of an example of that, where when you see the whole vision that they had for it, and it's just not as good as if you had stuck closer to the manga, the games. I mean, it's fucking obvious, but they've done this mistake before, with the edgelord, edge cool, DMC Devil May Cry.
I am the power of. All I need is
You killed it! You killed it! No! So at least it's better than that. If you're wondering where Ebony and Ivory is, because he just uses generic guns, this is obviously before he gets them at some point. You're not going to meet Trish, get that until, Devil May Cry 3 when he's older. This is a young, brash, younger Dante. But unfortunately, I don't feel he has much of a character arc in here. He pretty much just learns about his brother, and that's pretty much it. The really one that gets the character arc is Lady. And, I came for Lady. I didn't come for Lady. I came for Dante. And they keep pushing Lady, action scene, Lady. And I'm like, okay, I'm annoyed now, and I'm writing negative things. And then right then is when Dante shows up. I'm like, man, you are pushing this fucking shit hard her arc, to the breaking point.
And her arc is not, I don't find it satisfying, because it's like, wow, I hate this character. And then it's like, yeah, she gets better towards the end. It's like, but I don't want to wallow in not liking this character that I do like. So I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, it's a tough recommend. I love Devil May Cry, and the series has seen some ups and downs. To me, this isn't the worst fucking thing. The worst fucking thing is if the animation sucked and
terrible voice acting.
Terrible voice acting. There is some really fascinating stuff with the villain. They fill in the villain's backstory. They give him good motivation. There's several moments that got emotion from me, mostly in episode 6 only.
Yes.
But God, if you had just took the vision and the direction from episode 6 and then kind of applied it to the rest of the episodes, talk far less since you can't handle, writing the dialogue, and, other than motherfucker this and fuck that and motherfucker coming from Lady.
It's about whatever fucked up vendetta the rabbit has against Darkcom. Laugh your fucking cotton puff tail off. Don't be a fucking idiot. You're so full of shit. I say one word, and the soldiers you're surrounded by blow your brains right through that fucking haircut.
It's just, nah, it's not working. So it's a hard recommendation. Now, fans, you're going to watch it anyway, and we can talk about it, you know, the good parts, the misery parts, the missed opportunity. Because overall, I think I like it a little bit more than The Boys, but I think because I'm happy to see some DMC back in at the forefront and getting some of the franchise, but it does miss a lot of the time, and I lament on what we could have had instead. There's rumors, you know, of the next Devil May Cry game, the voice actor. By the way, the voice actor kind of threw me for a loop. This is the voice actor for Nero in the game. So it's like, why would you use Nero's voice instead of Dante's voice? It's an easy... But I guess they were like, this is our own version of Dante, so we're going to use Nero instead, who's Virgil's son. Okay, but fine. And ultimately, I think he does a good job. I'd prefer, you know, Dante's original voice, but and some of the interpretations, but whatever. I guess it goes there. So we can talk about mainly the fights are good. So Netflix posted on Twitter, like, this is the reason to watch this series in one scene. And they posted a rooftop battle. And frankly, the rooftop battle I thought was one of the weakest, fight sequences in the show. I think, you know, episode 1 has better ones. Episode 2, the apartment fight. Yeah. A lot of these other ones have much better scenes because I felt like that one was flat. And actually, from that battle forward, my eyes were glossing over on the demon fights by then. However, when there's a little bit of a raid situation. It kind of turns into the raid or Judge Dredd, where you're, you know, scaling the apartment and the demons have, like, you're in their headquarters, at least the White Rabbit's headquarters, and you're taking on demons like that. And I thought that was interesting and fascinating and well done. So parts of it are good, and I think it's mixed. Don't rush out and see it. See it in multiple pieces. Don't marathon it like us. I think it'll ruin. You'll run out of steam by episode 7 and 8. But maybe if you take it in smaller chunks, you'll enjoy it a little bit better. You know, you have it on in the background. And Alex is right. There's a lot of expedition dumps. Just characters telling you everything.
I mean, there's like characters like, oh, I'm making coffee now. It's like, who'd you say that for? It's like, oh, the kid on the
What's
couch.
What's his name? Enzo?
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what he's there for.
Yeah, he's there to explain like what you missed. And there's an entire scene where like Mary is talking to a lady. You know, lady is talking to the rabbit, and they're like, I'm going to summarize everything that's happened in the last 5 episodes for you, just in case you're a fucking idiot. And it's like, no, that guy's in the writing room right now, and I don't like to be treated like him.
I feel like there's a directive from Netflix, but no, because Castlevania didn't do that too much. So I think Castlevania's far superior series, and the talent that surrounded the creator here, Adi Shankar, definitely contribute to elevating Castlevania even harder. If you think it's all due to, you know, Adi Shankar, I don't think that's the case. But mixed, not the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. And there's actually, I think it was a 2007 anime that the look is better. It's darker. It looks Dante looks like Dante. The thing, and there's 12 episodes. However, if you actually dive into that series, it doesn't have much action. The action is not really there. This series is just all action. It's just action, action, action. And they get that wacky Dante right. They get that over the top kills, and the playfulness of Dante is correct here. I think even more than 2007. So I think while a lot of people, might get that mood right and the atmosphere and the story better in 2007's version, the action and I think the animation is better here. Now, if you could just kind of somehow combine the two, you know, give that action and that over-the-topness with that seriousness and the reverence for the lore and the story, then we have our made in heaven kind of adaptation. However, this is not it. And it has just been announced that they did get a season 2. So Dante will be back to hunt down more Hell Beasts in season 2, just confirmed by the streamer Netflix. Season 1 recently debuted at number 4 in the global top 10 list with 5.3 million views in just 3 days, and it reached top 10 in 87 countries and boasts a 95 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I went over to Rotten Tomatoes and I found the popcorn meter from the users is 62. So you got, from critics loving it. Critics don't really, I guess they don't care about, staying true to Dante. They don't mind a new interpretation. And then fans are like, yeah, this may have some good moments, but a little weak writing, and this interpretation is kind of going in a direction we don't really want. Like all this, the fucking U.S. government and invading and this and the political stuff. I don't really need it. We don't need that here. And it's fascinating enough on its own without making an allegory to how stupid the United States and people in power and governments can be. Please don't remind me of that. I mean, you're right. We're fucking stupid. I mean, I feel like I'm living in a fucking idiocracy at this point. But please, just, I want to have fun with Dante, man. The Devil May Cry. And so towards the end, they do tease. I might as well just say it. They do tease Virgil.
Yeah, we already said it.
Yeah, you're right. We already said it. So maybe there's an opportunity for it to be take some of this feedback and implement it in the second season.
But you gotta do something.
I'm really not sure. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that the feedback. Just implement some feedback and you can increase it, but I don't think it'll be where we want.
No.
At least not with the vision, because this is and he said it himself. He said in a tweet, this is the ASDMC, or he's making his own universe. AS. I was like, what is that? Oh, it's your fucking Adi Shankar. He's like, it's like, please don't be so full of yourself that you're just gonna be like, okay, well, my interpretation of Devil May Cry is better than the original Devil May. I was like, no, it's not. So please stop
There's
it.
a reason why they have.
Yeah. So another one of those, there's some moments. So let's go ahead and now I have some individual ratings for the episodes, and I will go through those in a spoiler breakdown section. But let's go ahead and combine all of the episodes together. A little difficult to do, and give it an overall ranking. Season 1 for Devil May Cry, Joe.
For me, there were some flashes of good stuff that I liked. I liked some of the battles, some of the cool scenes. I do like Dante, but they should have made him a little cheesier. That's the way he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They were trying to do like Invincible with the government stuff. I didn't like it. They didn't do it as a good job. Yeah, exactly. But they didn't do such a good job of it. And again, this one has a lot of action, but again, there's not a lot of story. So it just felt like you're watching fucking Fast X or something like that. So much action going on, but you don't really care.
It's like visual candy without any substance.
Yeah, so there's no tension. There's nothing there. There's no really emotion. Just like, oh, cool. That rooftop fight scene with the demons is like, it just it was supposed to be a lot cooler, but it didn't feel cool. I'm between like a 5 or 6. I do like I'll probably go with a 6. I do like some of the voice acting, some of the song choices, good animation, but overall 6.
Yeah.
Highest I can go.
Which is disappointing for Devil May Cry. We want it to be higher.
Yeah, I wanted to like it, but again, we watched it all the way through. No, don't do that. Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't like it as much as you. I think it gets a 5 at best. I mean, there's a lot of TV coming out. I mean, hundreds of new TV shows come out all the damn time, and I cannot sit there and watch 4 hours of something where I don't like any of the dialogue. And I didn't like the one of the bad guys of the story. I don't like the direction that we're going. We get this like 10-minute thing at the very end where we kind of go into absolute absurd crazy town. And so not only do I not want to watch season 2, I haven't even watched it, and I hate it because we've opened
season 2.
We've opened this can of worms that doesn't make any sense as far as like. Well, I don't want to get too spoiled, but it's dumb. It is fucking dumb.
We'll get there.
And so it's like it ended in a way that goes to complete crazy town. It's not the characters that I know and love, not really. And so it was all sizzle and no steak. I can't recommend it. I cannot, like, there's so many good TV shows out right now. I cannot, look, if you're a fan, you're going to watch it anyway. You don't need me to tell you. If you're on the fence, though, I cannot recommend that you watch the show.
Yeah, the ending really pissed me off. It dropped hard because I was like, I'm grading on an average here. I'm giving you a curve even, and I was like trying to justify. I was getting up there at 7, but I can't do it. I went down to 6. I can even see a 5 average. I'm gonna end up ultimately slightly above average. I think the animation studio holds this. They do a lot of the heavy lifting here, okay? As well as some of the music choices and some of the performances. And Adi Shankar, you need to just make some adjustments. Great, you're doing good with the action. Don't forget that, a lot of people come for Dante, okay? And in the previous anime back in 2007, Trish and Lady, barely characters, right? So I get it. You want to flesh out the tritagonists as they are in the video games, but we need a little bit more Dante and Virgil, and I think we are getting that in a season 2. But as Alex said, the plot line, it's almost like a little mini season 2 in the last 10 minutes that they rushed through. And that left a huge bad taste in my mouth where I said I'm like -1 to everything I just saw. And I hated it. So, but other than that, I thought it was a good start, and then it fumbled at the end. So I'm going to ultimately end on a 6 out of 10. So let us know what you thought. Are you a big fan of Devil May Cry and know all the lore and stuff? Let us know where they fucked up. I don't claim to know every goddamn thing in the series. I am a fan of it, though. And what your hopes are for season 2. And did you think they did a good job with the action? So let's jump in now real quickly into the spoiler section. Hey, welcome to the spoiler section. So
We nuke hell. We do it.
That was so fucking stupid.
What the hell?
What are we talking about? What pissed you off, Alex? What pissed you and me off?
Mostly when people were talking. But at the very end, through a tiny doorway size thing, we invade hell with tanks and aircrafts, and we nuke and
The Cecil character, Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, we carpet bomb. The civilians, like the innocent looking people. You can tell that the children, and we're cluster bombing them, and then we start dropping really large bombs. So we're full on.
We're just doing. Here's the thing, though, how it's so stupid. It's indiscriminate missiles. Cecil decides to. I'm just gonna call him Cecil. It just decides to get some F-22 Raptors to show up, like 2 of them, and just fire missiles into the portal.
The small portal.
You're declaring war on hell. Yeah. You're declaring war on hell, and you're just doing stupid shit. And it's like, God damn it, I fucking hate this. And then we get images of the U.S. government. They're constantly flying the USA flag. It's like, I get it. You hate the USA government. You hate the imperialism. Right? They're doing the trophies and posing soldiers and tanks rolling over demon heads. I'm like, yeah, but number one, the demons would kick your fucking ass in an instant.
Not with nukes, Joe.
They weren't nukes. That was that wasn't even a daisy cutter that they dropped.
Well, they did drop one really big bomb that blew up everything. Yeah. And then we built a detention center in hell because we're killing these children on purpose. Why are we making detention centers?
All this is literally there's 30 seconds given to this. And we're like, why are we jumping the shark? We're going way. And I was like, I hate all of this. And Virgil shows up. And he frees some of the poor demons, the family demons.
It's me. He's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
it's Virgil. Yeah, we knew that.
You told
a
us
long time ago.
Get it. So that's what I really fucking hated. And I went back and I want to be like -1 to everything because I hate this. And you really ruined it. When you stay more to character drama rather than real-world allegory or politics and stuff, and there's a time and place for all that.
Sometimes it fits.
Right? Sometimes it fits if you do it well. But when you do it rushed 45 seconds, and you're doing it in Devil May Cry, and you're doing it in the most stupid way that doesn't fucking make sense. If you want to say, okay, we need to the real humans are realizing the demons are real and they will invade, maybe we need to make a preemptive strike. There's a way to do it.
Yeah,
this wasn't it.
Yeah, they said everything. I mean, I know it's animated, but it's like it's true, like Saturday morning cartoon villains, and it's like, hey, we had done a really good job. I think they did a wonderful job setting up Dante, especially if you have no experience with him. Like you're like, oh, who is this guy? He's kind of, and then we have this amazing apartment scene, and you're like, oh, that's who he is. Like he's serious. Until they immediately have to they do the thing where they don't know how to elevate another character without gutting Dante, and so they're like, oh, look at Mary, she's so cool, and it's like, okay, do we have to do it this way?
Yes.
I'm going to go through these kind of quick. Episode 1, Inferno, has a great opening 5 minutes. I enjoyed it. You got the mother with the baby, and she's being attacked, and you got these demons. Dante shows up to save her.
Doing meat
and
rabbit.
we get the Limp Bizkit intro with they play the intro song over the animated intro. I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm going to get into the 90s vibe. I'm going to get into that. Then Dante starts talking. Voice by Nero, a little confusing at first. I got used to it over time. To be fair, I think he did a good voice acting job on it. However, clearly, you're starting to tell right away this is not canon to the games. This is a young Dante. We're going to see him grow up as we go along in the series. And, let's see. It's not... Neil Goldstein hasn't made Ebony and Ivory yet. And... What was next? White Rabbit. Okay, so White Rabbit hires Dante and gets everything sort of intertwined because he needs Dante. Why does he need Dante, Alex?
He needs his amulet. His amulet is the key to tear down the wall.
Yeah, if you don't know the story behind Dante, Sparta is his father, and this was a demon knight that rebelled against, the demon king. And demons can be good. Demons can have families. Demons can have feelings. You got bad demons. You got good demons. He rebelled and split the two worlds apart, and it was almost like paradise on one side and a shitty place you can't breathe, and demons enslaving everybody on the other side. So White Rabbit gets a nice backstory, and I really like that in episode 6. But we don't know that yet. Instead, here we get, the demon baby transforms into different. He's a shapeshifter, and he tries to get the necklace. And then you get the late Kevin Conroy as Vice President Barnes, something like that. And we understand that when you get these two halves, the realms will merge, and that's really bad. And then we get some goofiness at the end. He does the hat dance, the Michael Jackson, but they couldn't afford the Michael Jackson song, so they just do,
the
Dance Revolution kind of thing with the hat. I liked it. However, all of Dante's one-liners here, when he does the one-liner, it was, oh, I forgot one-liner. Okay, let's pretend I did a one-liner. Pretend I just shot him. And then what does he say?
Skeletor didn't hold up or something.
Skeletor,
like
but it's like, bro, that was awful. You didn't...
that was a joke,
Adi
Joe.
Shankar, did you not have anybody go through a second revision here and be like, who's the funniest on our writing team? Can you check to see if this is funny?
Use something from the game
it's not
or
funny.
something.
It was bad. Let's see. Editors are trying to find the writers. But, and so that kind of blunted it. And I thought at times it got up to 7, but I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10 on episode 1. What do y'all think?
I was a little higher on episode 1. I was at a 7. I was like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. We're starting. I was letting them do what they wanted to do. They hadn't kind of poisoned me yet.
Yeah, I was very intrigued with the rabbit. I was like, oh, what's going on with this
I like
guy?
the white rabbit.
Me too.
Yeah. So 7 for you as well?
Yep.
Okay. Episode 2's went up for me quite a bit. U.S. government wants the amulet from Dante. We get the mission briefing from the vice president. And then we get a demon patrol, basically, this RoboCop team that Mary's on. And Dante ends up calling her, look, lady. And then, just that sticks. But she's able to sniff out a demon almost instantly. They hire a bunch of demon hunters and fucking mercenaries, and she sniffs one out and kills it. And then we get Dante's friend, or really handler, Enzo, a short little guy with a big heart, and he's
constantly selling out Dante.
He's selling it out. He's like, but he's got a heart of gold. Apparently, we'll see towards the end. But anyways, we get the team that ambushes Dante here. This is a great action sequence in his apartment, and there's one of the mercenaries like, man, I don't think y'all should go up against this guy. He's weird. There's something wrong with him. He's really powerful. I've fought him before. and he wiped us out. Y'all are gonna lose. And then when they go there, they're fucking lose. They're like, he's really.
But I did
good
like
fighter.
that little point when he's like telling the story. He's all dark. He's like, yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be alive. You guys have fun. There's no amount of money. 500. Okay, let's go.
Let's
I wish they would have done more than 500,000. I was like, that's not enough.
Me too. If we like for
Like 3
your
million.
life and you're gonna
Okay, let's do it now.
you divide that with your whole fucking
would've-
squad. You're
See,
gonna need more.
The jokes could hit harder if you just
Yes.
have a second revision
Yeah.
on the
It's like-
fucking draft.
It's like that's not enough with your whole squad. You need more. But
yeah.
I like that little bit.
And then I like one that did work is that all the mercenaries are pop 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 shooting Dante because they see him.
Who we shooting at?
And then he's shooting them with. He's like, oh, we shoot because he's so fast.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I was
this is what
expecting more of
works.
this stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
throughout
and
the whole
this
time.
is
Yes.
this is what was working.
It's kind
for
of the
me
last
and
time
went
we
way up.
see it, though.
And then he thinks he's a superhero. He's like, I got superhero powers because he doesn't know yet that he has the blood of demons in him, and he's a hybrid. Anyways, Mary's this badass leader of the group. And there's this weird exposition delivery in this episode that doesn't quite work, kind of explaining the rules and Mundus and the demon world and stuff. And Dante is already a high power level. Even this big guy can't hit him, and he has this easily outpowers this big guy who punches him. I love there is I guess one script doctor because every once in a while characters will react realistically to situations. It's like if I was writing, I'd be like, man, it's like. And so the people that are watching on screens are like, man, not even the big guy get him. I thought I'd at least get one hit on him.
Yeah.
So some of it is working. But eventually, Lady joins the fight, and she kind of outsmarts Dante a little bit.
She easily solos him.
She solos him very easily, and she is crazy powerful. Now, if you know Lady, she doesn't have any demon powers. She's just peak human condition. I don't know how it works. I don't know how she would
has
ever
a lot
be
of
able
training,
to do this.
A lot of training.
There's zero training ever shown. What was her training?
montage.
The montages and
Yeah.
stuff when she was a little girl. Well, first she's just firing
Her
cat guns.
rage for
Rage was her
demons.
training.
Yes.
There you go. But this is Lady from the fucking she hates demons. This is straight from the games in the manga. And she's just prejudiced against demons because of her backstory, and we get all that here. Anyways, I am happy that this shit was better than DMC Devil May Cry in 2013, that edgelord edgy shit. I think that the goofy, light-hearted badass is here. It's just I wish his lines hit harder. I wish the dialogue was smarter. And yeah. And the song works here. Song during the Lady vs. Dante fight was awesome. She takes him down with shock rounds and an injection and puts him in a truck, kicks his ass, basically. But I'm okay with it because we're not yet. We're young Dante. We're not, we're just starting here.
cut off
and we
guard.
need to give her a moment. So,
He's naive.
8 out of 10. I thought this was one of the better episodes in the series.
7 for me. I loved some of the action, and then some of the stuff towards the end was like, I think that you guys are overdoing it a little bit, introducing these characters, but still good.
Yeah, I agree with the 8. I liked it. I liked the action a little bit. But by the way, though, we need to speed it up.
Yeah, episode
less than
3, The Deep and Savage Way. This one is a flashback, kind of sheds light on Mary's past. And in the present, we got a convoy with some cargo that hits a roadblock. And White Rabbit starts firing fucking, what's the movie with Harrison Ford when they fire all the rockets at the president's convoy? It's like that.
Clear and Present Danger?
What was that? Yeah, Clear and Present Danger. It's got that kind of situation. So Mary, as a little girl's watching horror movies. We think she's about to get Batman.
Yeah, she kind of did. She lost her parents, but
It's worse almost.
Yeah, she sees her dad and stuff just cower. And this guy didn't do anything. The mom tried to protect him, and he's like, look, I need to focus on demons. It became his obsession.
Yeah.
So he just disappeared from the family. She would just see him through a keyhole, fascinated with this and the demon DNA, try to help.
We don't yet get the payoff where he turns into a demon
no.
and rips her mother apart. That's shocking. That's in the better episode,
But
episode
she
6.
lost her family to demons. So
Yeah, the existence of episode 6 actually makes me like this episode these parts less because they did such a wonderful job in 6. It almost feels like, hey, we didn't
Yes.
actually need these parts earlier because you had this I think, peak episode of the entire series coming up. So
Yeah, we get a Raccoon City reference here, the Resident Evil
Mega
DMC
Man,
crossover, Capcom reference here. We get the highway fight chase sequence, and this one's all action. I like this one. It's cool. Lots of fighting. These RoboCop's, task force is set up here as badasses, but they can't really go up against demons except for Lady. Lady is just far and away the best.
why?
That's why we get the "Cut My Life into Pieces" song, the last
A
resort
remix.
from Papa Roach, and
Roach.
even the demons are like, "Damn, this guy's cool," because he's doing, he's like fucking. He's riding his motorcycle, doing a flip, using his motorcycle to hit the guys, and they're like, "Man, you cool." And I was like,
Fucking
"Yeah, he is
slinging it.
cool." But Lady is got a plan. She put a fucking tracker that blows his head up if he gets a mile away. And just as Dante is about to win the day
Gotcha.
and get the White Rabbit who's driving off, he reaches that point and his his cabeza explodes. So I thought that was another good episode. By the end, and because of that, Rabbit is able to attain the amulet and the sword. Thanks a lot, Lady. You fucked it up. 8 out of 10.
7 for me.
7.
All right.
Is this the episode where we learned that it's like a multi-layered MacGuffin and I was actually mad?
Yeah.
Or it's like, it's not the
that's-
amulet, it's like the amulet
Oh, no,
plus,
I-
plus. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit in that, and then expanded.
Yeah,
on
because they were like,
episode
well,
4.
he has everything. Why isn't he doing it? It's like, because he needs
yeah,
all this stuff.
And then they explain it to you.
All right, we gotta go for a movie review, so I'm gonna cut it off here, and then when we get back, I'll just restart.
Okay.
Okay, back from the movies. Starting on episode 4 for Devil May Cry Netflix, she can't recognize somehow that the dude is a demon when she could before. You know, lady, she like
can smell.
immediately noticed
He didn't smell as bad.
the smell.
She's like, I can smell
the
him.
eyes, bunch of
The
things.
limbs.
Granted, she just did go through some shit, so I guess she's not paying attention, and it wouldn't be, as apparent, I guess. But that bothered me throughout it. This is kind of where it turns into the raid, where they go inside the headquarters of White Rabbit, and we get. Before we go in there, we get a little bit more relationship amongst the team. You see, there's a boyfriend, girlfriend in one, and this guy does this guy. And God, lady just keeps cursing. It just feels like it's just forced to be cool, and it's just not cool. So let's go get this motherfucker. Fucker, I got you at the end of the last episode. I got you, motherfucker.
It's made like a magician.
Let's go get
joke
this
or something.
motherfucker. It's like
He'll
Jesus
pull his
Christ.
ass out of his.
He'll need a magician to pull himself out of his own ass.
Like,
Yeah.
relax, lady.
She's mad, right?
Yeah, and then we get Air Force 2, and, the Virgil Dante necklace factors in here, but basically... it's mostly with Lady hanging out with the special robot forces team, and I get that Lady is headstrong. I get it.
Oh, you
but
get it?
she's
They've
just
only said
being
it
a little
100 fucking
annoying.
times, yeah.
It's a little bit, but this is a badass scene here when they drop the emergency shelter things and get them trapped in there. Because I love the song, and the team just gets murdered. And
Cool
I
scene.
wondered if the series had the balls, to like just start murdering all these characters that they've been showing off for the past 2 or 3 episodes, and they did. So credit where credit is due. And yeah, Dante needs to eventually save them on the Air Force 2. You have that simultaneous plot line going on along with this one. And this is basically where the White Rabbit motivations are revealed, and his motivations make sense. He wants to get, he is transporting people from the Makai, or whatever, the demon world to the human world, because to them, this is more like paradise. And so he says... It makes sense to him, but it doesn't make sense to me, the plan. Because if he merges these two worlds,
It's still better than living over there.
She kind of points out the hypocrisy. It's like, hey, this is not about you and your refugees. It's about you punishing humans and our people for doing. But we don't get that till way later.
Yeah, that's a little later.
Yeah.
But I'm getting my episodes mixed here. But basically, White Rabbit is trying to trigger Dante's Devil Trigger to activate, and
That's what he needs.
yeah.
Yeah, because it was revealed that not only do you have to get the sword MacGuffin and get the 2 jewels for it, but then you also need blood, like super special blood. And it's revealed that he's like, she's like, oh, you have the thing. Why aren't you doing the thing? And he's like, well, I also need special blood, but it can't be just his blood.
You have to wait for him to become a full demon.
He has to hit his demon puberty. Otherwise, it's not the right kind of blood, and it's just...
No, I think you could just get any amount of blood from him.
He has to-
No, but he has
He has to go through demon puberty, or he doesn't count.
he has to like do his transformation first. It's
That's
like,
what
okay,
the whole point of the Air Force 2
now
thing
we
was
can get
like.
the blood.
That's why it was so stupid. It's like, this is ridiculous.
Because later on, it didn't seem like he was concerned with having Dante switch to his trigger form.
No.
He's just
No.
like, I got to hit him once.
But he has to go
yeah.
through. He has to do it the first time. Otherwise, it's not matured blood, and it doesn't count.
He didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And so Lady is the sole survivor from her team, essentially, along with an infiltrator who's a demon who takes the form of one of her team members. But she's seeing things from the gas that, is pretty horrifying as she watches her whole team get murdered, and she escapes. And she's just kind of stumbling through the hallways, setting off traps and stuff. She should be dead, but she makes it out. But essentially, these demons, she needs help, and these demons actually show mercy to her. She thinks that they're just homeless people, or not homeless people, but just, low income, just trying to mind their own business, poverty-stricken area. But she notices once they let her in and they hide her, and they basically save her life, essentially, she notices that they are demons themselves, and of course she freaks out. She's pointing the gun to them. And all within this short span, she goes from hating all demons to now I'm going to protect every single one of you.
I promise.
I thought it was a little
It
too
was.
fast.
It was.
Can I get one episode of you kind of like internal conflict dealing with this and then realizing how much of a dick you are? But yeah, she vows to protect them instantly. And I just expected at least one more episode. We get the plane fight between the 2 demons, blue and red. By the way, these guys are from one of the video games. Not quite, the same. It doesn't go the same way because we're in this different universe from what's this guy's name again? Adi Shankar. And then basically the plane explodes after the blue. Dante does his trigger thing. Kills the red demon, the fire-breathing demon, and the blue demon is so pissed off that he engages the explosion, and everybody falls out of the plane, and I'm like, oh, shit. How is Dante going to get all these people? That's kind of where that one ends. Again, the action scenes are good, but here's where the dialogue and the story starts to break down a little bit. So I only ended up writing down a 6 out of 10.
5 for me.
Yeah, I'll
same
go with a
reasons.
6 because I do like that part, but as soon as the other stuff happened, the quick switch, I didn't like. I think the pilot's still on the plane.
Yeah, he's alive.
dead.
Well, I mean, he was alive.
He's
The
dead.
implosion didn't get him. Dante let him
So
die.
episode 5 is called Descent, and this one was another low score from me, ultimately saved by one small little bit towards the end we'll talk about. But essentially, it starts off good. Everybody's falling from the plane. He's giving people parachutes. I'm like, how many fucking parachutes blew up and fell, with everybody? Then I realized it's not all going to be the parachute. He's going, he's got wings when he goes into Devil Trigger, so he can do a little bit of that. But, yeah, while simultaneously we're doing more of the raid stuff, that Judge Dredd movie situation in an apartment complex, high-rise, bad guy HQ, and Lady just kind of navigating and discovering things. And eventually the demon in disguise shoulder does show up, and she still can't tell. Just in an intimate situation where it's just her, and then this guy should be dead. She's not paying attention.
It's like, how are you alive in my team that is way more
so
trained
this is where
than
I'm
you?
like, this is a little shaky here. And then, Meanwhile, Dante's trying to save everybody. Some people are fucking scared of him because he looks like a crazy man, crazy demon, and some people are, happy for the help, but we're going. It does seem like a wacky video game level, and I like that. And meanwhile, Lady does eventually cleverly kill the infiltrator demon. How does she do it?
She says, "You need me alive," because he does need her alive to take over his body.
Yeah.
I have clearance. I got a whole bunch of stuff I can
I'm an
give you. He's like, "Okay, that's a pretty good idea." And then the Vine Lady shows up. He's like, "Ha ha!" and attacks
Got
her.
you,
It's like,
bitch.
"Oh, the wrong one."
And she fires all her spines and hits seemingly Lady. And you think Lady's dead, but nope, it
I didn't
was
think that
the
for a second.
infiltrator demon.
Yeah. Well, he's
You
also
don't see any blood.
He's not dead either. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dante goes Devil Trigger in the air with his wings, and I'm probably going to get downvoted for this and a little hate. I've always wanted the Devil Trigger form to look a little cooler. I've never really liked the Devil
Too
Trigger.
clean.
Even, and I'm not just saying this series, even the video games. There's been maybe once or twice where it's looked a little better, but they go with a mostly similar look to the games. I'd put them side by side. I just don't like the Devil Trigger.
It's the
I wish
one
it was
time.
be a little cooler.
Yeah, it's
it
the one
looks
time they
too
do the video
clean,
game
too
thing and it
sleek.
didn't
I
work.
want it to look more demonic.
Right. So
Yeah.
if we're gonna change things around, I think the Devil Trigger, making it look a little different, is cool. Now the Devil Trigger with the wings that kind of do the jacket every once in a while. I don't know. Anyways, Dark Com is this RoboCop Elite Force team I keep talking about. So they work for Dark Com, and we get she's like, she says her name, Mary Ann Arkham here, and Lady gives her speech, and she's on the intercom, and she's trying to talk to all the demons who she fucking hated their guts just 5 seconds ago, and she goes, "You're not our enemy, the rabbit is," and she tries to, give us that all song and dance. But again, it's not resonating quite as much because I feel like it was a very quick turn. Now,
Yeah.
it's not too much of a stretch. I get it and I support it. We just needed more development, I think, there.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, and then we get Dante join. I don't know what I wrote here. Something with the blue guy. What's the fight with the blue guy?
The blue guy
Oh.
fight sucks. Like they're fighting, and then Dante beats him, and then he lets the blue guy live, and then the blue guy comes back, and Dante's surprised that the blue guy's around. It's like why would Dante of all people let a demon who's killed a bunch of people and trying to kill him live? I don't know.
And then he's, constantly calling this damn lady. She's like, God, lady this, lady that. And that's how she gets her nickname, essentially. And meanwhile, Lady is kind of dealing with the fallout. She's constantly reminding. She's seeing these flashes of her team killed, with these rabbit dolls. She's even like, "You sick fuck." He even made little dolls of this. Like, damn, man, how quickly did he get those team kills and then started making doll versions of it to leave behind in order for her
She's
to
like,
see
"This is
it?
exactly how I need you to
He
kill
is
them."
sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or he did it right, exactly. But anyways, other than this episode, we don't really get more of her dealing with that.
But we
'Cause she
get
did
more
walk
of
in her
Kevin
whole
Conroy's
squad.
character here. He's like, "Why the fuck are we taking refuge? Like, I don't care. They're demons. Kill them all." And that's
Yeah, this
that's where he
was-
sees the demon. The shapeshifter sees everything in the camera. Pretty fucking brutal. It's killing like the mom and
The
the
children.
kids
Yeah, these
and
are
everything.
refugees.
Yeah.
This was the one little area that brought the episode back up
That's
for
like,
me.
damn.
And it was kind of like a realistic, thing where the infiltrator sacrifices himself in order to react to this massacre that surprised him, surprised everybody, and is taking place in real time. I just thought it was a cool story beat, and it saves the episode. He blows himself up, blows up all the agents, and it's horrifying. Yeah, so fuck Cecil, fuck the vice president, essentially, and they're bad guys. Oh, and there's where I wrote, this is where her dialogue just breaks down. But of course he fucking did. Fucking, which is why it wouldn't fucking work, which is fucking why I fucking figured you out, you furry fucking demon. Now, obviously, I am exaggerating a little
He
bit.
added 2 more.
But she's just like, so many. I'm like, all right, this is little eye rolling here. I would have given it a 5 out of 10 if it weren't for that last bit there with the infiltrator demon and him sacrificing himself. I'm gonna end on a 6 out of 10 for that one.
I'm at a 4. Honestly, like, besides that, I was getting kind of bored.
Yeah,
I was kind of like we were watching it for too long or something. I was like,
Well, good TV grabs you, and like then
Yes.
this is when it's starting to lose me because it's like I agree that there's some cool parts, but like the whole this is where not only does the dialogue break down, but we really start to focus more on the corrupt or
Yeah,
the
we got all
idea-
the elements we don't like.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, as much as I love Kevin Conroy, his character's not a character that I enjoy watching. And then this whole shadow organization, I don't like it, so I don't think it's
Dark
great.
Calm, Lady, Kevin Conroy,
And then the Dante parts
government.
I think are poor in this episode.
Yeah, I did not like the airplane, like that whole portion. I
that's why
did
we
not
got-
like it.
Got it. What about you?
Got 4, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, going on to the next one, which is the first circle. So the first circle is the episode 6, unlike
Awesome.
all
Best
the rest of
one.
the episode.
Awesome.
And it shows you, we're watching it, but even if you're getting atrophy, a best episode is a best episode. A damn good episode can rise above. And it changed all of our minds. This sort of a fairy tale opening got a little bit of a different tone here with the credits. It's got some really good music and
No dialogue.
No dialogue. And we realized
Conveyed through emotions.
not her. She didn't get Batmaned. She got something worse, similar, and it was essentially the tragic backstory of both Lady and White Rabbit, which I appreciated.
Yes.
White Rabbit explains why he's got this Alice in Wonderland motif. He was, an orphan and ostracized, beaten and jumping
Bullied.
from home to home, and he kind of uses it as his therapy. Meanwhile, he's just beaten, mistreated essentially in the foster home system, and he's essentially adopted eventually by a demon family because he finds a tear in the two universes, and so he crosses over, and there's a kid that saved him as he was kind of, and it makes sense that he would want to go into the other island because you've got the Alice in Wonderland, he's seeing the rabbit,
he just needed
So
an
it just-
escape. Yeah,
it just works.
great.
It's perfect. It makes a lot of sense. They have a bunch of good times. There's a sense of wonder. Even though this demonic world, it shows you that some people there are kind people and some cool areas
I like
that you can have fun
also
in.
the two different styles as well. The
Yeah.
animation,
Right.
on
Yeah,
both.
they changed the animation style. And I still, though, this is a technical thing. I don't know if it's our Netflix or my sound system, but I found it annoying throughout the series, and it happened here once, where the audio goes low on its own for some reason. Like when there's like a song and then dialogue playing at the same time. I think it's like in the series. You let us know if you were running into that as well, or if that's just our sound system, because it feels like when the music kicks in, I want the music to be loud and I want the audio to be loud, but what it feels like is the music kicks in and it goes lower.
Yeah,
and
Christopher
then
Nolan
dialogue
syndrome.
gets low. It's weird. So, anyways, only certain times, and that was here. But anyways, Lady's father injects himself with, I don't know what it is.
Demon blood.
Demon
He's just
power,
doing more demon experimentation. He wants the power to, I guess, defend his family, but he goes too far, turns into a fucking vampire, kills her mother in front of her. He's feeding on her, and he attacks his own daughter. And in an accident, they knock over some equipment, which sets a
A
fire.
chemical set.
Yep.
My first
Lab
chemical
safety people.
Right?
Come on. What's
That's
wrong
set. He
with
should
you?
know better.
And they die, and that's when she joins Dark Calm, and she fucking hates, demons. So that's good. While White Rabbit, he builds stuff. He's really good at building things, and to help his adoptive people, he finds a way to predict these rifts or to help control the rifts in a little way and find a way out of the realm. And I started to kind of see it coming, but I still enjoyed it, even though I saw it coming.
Yeah.
That these two were on a collision course essentially, and I just thought this is the best episode. They're not talking, there's no weak dialogue, the emotional beats are there, and essentially in the culmination, the climax, he brings his team through a portal. Or he brings his refugees through the portal at the same time Dark Calm is operating, and just took out some of the refugees that they thought were bad guys, were really weren't. And
Well, it's 'cause of
it
the-
turns into the Rock situation when they're
Yeah.
elevated and they're, and they were running from a big demon because there are evil demons in the world, and this evil demon makes it halfway through the portal, freaks out Dark-Com, and they just start plugging everybody. It's a sad scene, and honestly, kind of makes Lady a piece of shit. You know, a morally ambiguous murderer. I don't like that. Now, granted, she in the video game she murders demons all the time, and I'm sure she did some morally ambiguous
They're
stuff.
like
but
children demons, though. She's executing.
That's
like
the problem. No, this is where it kind of crosses the line for me, and I don't like this interpretation. And he's like, hold. The first dialogue is hold, and then she's like, why do you look human? And he's trying to explain, but that demon comes through, freaks everybody out, and gunfire.
I mean, the first demon she ever saw looked human.
Yeah.
So I mean, and the demons constantly are hiding themselves as humans. So
I hate to say it, but Lady is responsible for some atrocities.
Yep.
It's
all her fault.
Really, I hate her. Don't like her. The greatest thing now, she shows flashes from time to time of, you know, the video game Lady and somebody a little bit better than what she is, and I get that we're doing a character arc here, but still, she's essentially responsible for White Rabbit. He is hurt after this explosion and after the massacre. He loses his mind. His adoptive family is dead. Just one world has abused him, and just
Dies on a vengeance quest.
Yep.
For dark.
And he turns into White Rabbit. Doesn't make sense that he puts a mask on and now all of a
Yeah, I
sudden
was gonna say,
fully
he's so
articulate
fucking, like,
mouth.
wait a minute. Like,
He looks like a
your
rabbit.
cosplay helmet was so convincing. Everyone thought you were a fucking demon.
Them furries, they got some technology, Joe.
Even
It's
in the, what was it, Ninja
getting
Turtles, when they're
wild.
laughing, you can see the guy inside.
you can see, you can see them. Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah, but no, not here.
Not him.
He convinces you. But anyway, so I really, really like this episode. 9 out of 10 for me. The only thing that rubs me the wrong way is kind of how, you know, Lady is, you know, how they depict Lady here, making me dislike her a
Best
little
one,
bit.
yes, I agree.
But
Let's
I
go
understand
with that
both
one.
sides.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. I mean, it's so crazy, but it also, this episode is also the problem I have with the entire series is they're not talking. And that's the weak part of it. Like, I love the animation.
Doesn't it amplify? It's like, you guys are a talented team, but your writers are kind of screwing
not
things
doing
up.
it. It's like, I love the animation. I love both styles of the animation. The music was good. The characters are good. The world that's already exists in the video games and the manga I've never read. Like, all of the stuff here is good. The things that let everything down is like the storytelling and the dialogue. And in this one, they did the story like amazing.
Because they're focusing.
And there was no dialogue. And then we get episode 7 and 8.
Yeah. So, and here we go. Episode 7 and 8.
I'm like, I was excited. I was like, okay, this is
I'm
we're
back.
wrapping up.
Yeah, I
and
see it
it's
back
gonna
up.
be good.
It's like, all right, it's good. We're going to end real
At
strong.
the gates of paradise, it's called, and the stage is set for the ultimate showdown as the rabbit and his army lie in wait for Dante to show up. But there's more than one hero that's ready to fight. Lady.
Yeah.
It features Lady pretty much the whole time. This is where I'm like, all right, we're crossing into the territory where it's like, God damn it, I need some more Dante in Devil May Cry.
Nope, she tricks him and puts him in the fucking truck and says,
shoots him in
I'm
the leg.
going to meet Rabbit, not you, because they need you.
Yes, again, annoying the fuck out of me. White Rabbit gets I assume gets the pieces that he needs from Virgil. It's shown that he's like, I know who you are, and we are supposed to know who that is Virgil.
Yeah.
But anyways, like you said, Lady shoots Dante's leg, and you demonic dumbass, and you're in your fucked up vendetta. It's my fight. And I'm like, just shut the fuck up. I hate that. It's like when you have to slap another character silly to make one character look better, like Alex says, I don't like it. She's like, it's my fight. And so she locks up Dante, and we get the Crazy Town Butterfly song, and she goes
My
and
lady.
gets a fucking come my lady, and it's all about the lady, and she flies in on a fucking car. It's ridiculous, you know. Devil May Cry is ridiculous,
Yeah,
but I
that
want
was
it to be
fine.
more Dante. But anyway, she flies in there, and then, as if there's not already some glorifying here, she negotiates with White Rabbit, and he just instantly gives up the amulet because she asked. Right?
Well, she was going to destroy the source of blood,
Yeah.
and he didn't know.
Yeah, so
But it's fine because the new demon guy, I don't know his name, the guy with the cool plasma sword. The plasma sword can't cut through a rocket launcher that she has pulled out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
She's holding it up, and then he's going to slice through it, and this thing is sliced through absolutely everything, and then it just goes...
And he's like, so she fights all the demons. Oh, she does say, he does ask her, "You've grown fond of Dante. You can't do this, haven't you?"
like
and she goes,
him?
"Not fucking likely."
Yeah.
Of course, she's got to say, "Not fucking likely."
He also says, like, where do you hide your gigantic balls in your skin-tight suit? And I was like...
Yeah. To be honest, she does have some big, huge balls, and probably bigger than Dante, and I think that's a little bit of the problem, but okay. Dante finally shows up. I'm like, you know what? The battle, it's great. It's fine. I get it. But at this point, I'm here for Dante, and literally at the last moment that it's acceptable, Dante shows up. And
Here's the thing, again, I didn't like
I was a bit
because
sick of her shit by
yeah,
then.
because she was facing against 30 fucking demons.
Yeah.
And these
like,
are the powerful
we
ones, yeah.
got them because we poisoned our tips just enough to paralyze. It's like, well, why don't you just put poison to kill him? Like, just kill Dante. And take his blood.
Okay, maybe they need to harvest his
No,
blood
they
more
could just
than
take-
once. I don't.
No, they just
fucking
needed
know.
the drop. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe to
We're
get him
gonna make it
to go
just
into the
enough to
devil trigger
paralyze.
form.
Just enough
I
to
get it.
paralyze you.
Sure.
I was like, what?
It does eventually paralyze Lady.
With the shitty demons.
So they're not very smart. And then Dante goes, while he has the battle, he ends up going through the portal. No, first he shows up and White Rabbit does his speech to him, and he's trying to convince him, and they go through the portal together so Dante can see, what White Rabbit is talking
I'm
about.
just looking at Dante. It's like, why are you walking through the portal, Dante? What is wrong with you?
At his behest to see for himself. But this is where I really hammered home that his plan doesn't make sense, because Dante's poking holes in it. He's saying, it's like, so he agrees. He's like, "What, the demons are coming? You're gonna put a bunch of demons and humans can't handle it." And White Rabbit agrees. The demons will come through, the bad ones. But he doesn't acknowledge that they're just gonna, if that happens, they're just gonna do the same thing in Earth that they did in Demonland.
This is the part where where
And
Lady was
Makai-
telling him, it's like, look, you're doing this because now you just want vengeance for
Yeah,
humans.
it's about vengeance, not about the refugees.
Yep.
And so
And that's why it got perverted in that way. And so while White Rabbit had, a point, and I like the character development, and I like the depth, and I like the backstory, we do get the villain turn here so that you don't feel too sorry for him. And here is where we get that scene that they promote on Twitter. And I didn't like this rooftop battle. I actually didn't even like the song that they played during the rooftop battle. There were other great similar songs that played before and after, but this one, I wasn't in it. Eventually, he kicks him through the portal, and he's fighting this other demon, son of, I don't know, bats. Your dad fucked bats. I don't fucking know, because the guy's dark. But eventually cuts his head off using the portal, and White Rabbit reveals himself, takes his mask off to Lady and says, "I am your masterpiece. Look upon me." And
it's you.
yeah. So and I don't like Lady. I just don't like Lady's attitude. You know where the Devil May Cry comes from? Well, it's not where it comes from, but I know it was referenced once in Devil May Cry 3 where Dante, it's been a long time, but I think it was Dante was shedding a tear for his brother, and then she's like, even devils may, cry. And it's like a point. It's like real emotional, and she's hated demons, and then she learns to stop hating demons, and I just don't know if this particular version of Lady is one that sits
No, we
well
didn't get
with
enough time with her in her arc.
That moment
Oh,
doesn't
quick check.
happen here, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming eventually if they get enough seasons, but
You're supposed to like her already.
I'm supposed to
though.
like
right
her
now,
already,
you
but I don't like her. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you're not. Maybe they're like, all right, season 2 will soften Lady, and
That's a choice.
Yeah, because she's like
the main character.
main character.
Yeah.
Dante's
Right.
sprinkled in.
So we get the White Rabbit fight with Dante. White Rabbit's using the sword. Dante's using his sword. They're going up against each other. And meanwhile, here comes the government guy, and the government guy is like, show all these dead demons and put guns on their bodies, and we just did the first strike in the holy war with more to come. And I'm like, okay, just shut up. And I was like, hopefully this doesn't factor in. Unfortunately, it does later. So yeah, this one, I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10. I didn't like Lady's dialogue or attitude, the trapping of Dante, I'm going to take this over, and so half the episode is Lady, then Dante shows up, but even that rooftop battle just doesn't hit as hard as some of the other battles. I think 6 out of 10. What do you think?
Honestly, for me, it's going to be a little bit lower than average, 4. I was bored. Like, we do get a lot of fucking spectacles here, but like I said before, it just felt like Fast and Furious. You get all this explosion, all this action going on, but you're just kind of numb to it. It's like, I don't care. Like, it wasn't coming from the previous episode, which was fucking amazing, to this. I was like, I don't.
We're not spending enough time with Dante and feeling his motivations and really being there with him in the fight.
Yeah.
It's more, Lady, and we can't really stand her, and it's like, shut up. And
there's not enough time to spend with them, so...
I mean, there could have been if we had focused on him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, the problem is he's now a co-main character instead of the main character, so...
What do you think?
My knee-jerk was a 5. I thought they did some of the stuff okay, but I think it was the fight scenes. I think if you actually... Because I know there's people clickety-clacking right now. It's like, oh, how did you guys not love the fight scene? Like,
they're good.
Like, they're fine.
They're better than the 2007 anime.
But, I mean, we've also seen some amazing stuff in animation, that even from this, and it's just like, I don't think they were that great.
Yeah. I think the other fights all throughout the series were better than that rooftop one. But that's episode 7, so we're going on to the final episode, River of Blood and Fire. This is supposed to be the big, climactic thing. White Rabbit, though seemingly defeated, is still alive. And he ends up eating other demons to, sustain
like
himself,
little baby,
mutate himself. And
he was like a Bane, though.
Kind of fucking transforms into a Bane, yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, is I kind of lost all interest a little bit towards the end.
He became bulletproof and all sorts of ridiculousness.
You go from a really creative White Rabbit character that I liked to just a Bane villain of the week thing, and he gets buffed. He gets jacked, and then. I did like how Enzo factored in. They said, "Oh shit, we have these other new characters we introduced. Let's have them do something." So Enzo picks up a rocket launcher and he's gonna try to do something. Unfortunately, he dies. He sacrifices himself, and this pisses off Dante. And then that's when we get the fight. The song is awesome. And the music is better in this episode than it was in 7. I looked it up. Alex Seaver does some of the music. He did some of the music for Arcane, but mostly a lot of the work was done by Power Glove, and they do good work too. So when I say, obviously there's the soundtrack of the 90s, but then all the
classic
kind of
oldies.
Yeah. But anyway, so Power Glove did a lot of that music. So I did think the music improved here. However, eventually she shoots. We see the vulnerability. We see the video game part. This is the part that would be flashing in the video game. That
Every time, it's like, hey, I think that's important.
So she shoots at it from really far away with the last bullet that she has, which then fucks him up quite a bit. And Dante gets mad. He also told him that his brother's alive, and he's like, you shouldn't have done that because now I have to live for him, even though he got impaled previously, and then he pulls the sword out. Now I have to live for my brother. And that's cool. It's a cool moment here. And the portal opens, by the way, I forgot to say that's the most pivotal part, is that he opens the portal and fucking spikes come up, demons are invading, people are getting eaten and chopped up, and it's a panic and they're running. And so then that's the fight ensues, and but he wins. Dante kills him, he closes it, and that's it. He doesn't really get much of a character arc compared to Lady.
The monsters poof away.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Oh, that's right. They're about to kill
that was like,
people.
that's lame.
Yeah.
that.
You think? Wait a minute. No, because people come in and they've
they're
crossed
already
over
in the
and they
portal.
stay there,
Yeah.
even though they left the portal. That doesn't make sense. That's a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
wait, they're
but
already
they
out.
came in from a different way. They phased in instead of walking through a portal. Whatever. No, that's Deus Ex Machina.
I honestly thought that was going to be like
Bullshit.
the cliffhanger or something. Like he opens portal, some
I
came
like
in,
that.
he's like,
That's-
shit.
that would've been
now
way cool.
Dante has like, a reason to live because of his brother, and now he has to kill these monsters.
And he
That's
has to be
season
an
2.
actual demon
Yeah.
hunter because
Yeah.
Earth is now invaded by demons and people need his services. That's how you end the series.
But without the vice
that's not
president,
how-
though.
but that's not how we end it.
Without that part.
We do the vice president part. God damn it. Anyways,
We find out there's been this sniveling traitor that doesn't make any sense because like the White Rabbit
Anders.
like is like, hey, I've got your daughters, so I need you to help me genocide all of humanity. And he's like, wait a minute, you're gonna kill my 2 daughters, or you're gonna genocide all are my daughters included in the humanity? And then he's like, oh yeah, whatever. Let's not think about this ever again. And so this guy has been betraying everyone. He's the mole, and the vice president had it figured out. The vice president is like, I've got the doodad that helps me figure out the rifts, and we're going to use this to wage our holy war. And then
and
for
my
the next,
eyes rolled into the back of my head.
yeah, it's like for the next.
Oh, he kicks off Anders first. So he shoots Anders and kicks him off. We don't see Anders die. I'm sure this character's coming back. I don't want him to come back. I don't care about him. He's going to probably have a redemption arc in season 2. Don't want it.
Yeah, and then the vice president just goes and he's like, scramble
the jets.
and then they just start shooting missiles inside this.
Operation Inferno, Alex,
Yeah.
was a very mature and well-planned
Those
operation,
missiles
wasn't
would
it?
have kind of went beyond the portal. Though.
No,
Hit the
Joe.
buildings behind.
Oh, a few missiles didn't get
It's
into
heat
the
seeking
giant-
and it's hot in hell, so they.
and just indiscriminately starts firing into hell.
And then so then we kill a bunch of people. At this time, there's a small time like fast forward, and then we see tanks rolling through.
It also annoys the fuck out of me that American Idiot plays because I hate Green
Day.
Day. I just hate Green Day. I don't like it. So not only what was happening on screen was pissing me off,
Message, Joe.
but then I had to
Yeah.
listen to American
But the-
Idiot,
but
and,
the
message-
and then I had to have a message, and it was getting political. I'm like, God damn it. So yeah.
And so, it's just we get the Abu Ghraib poses and the trophies of killing all these people, and we're murdering demon children, and we're doing all the evil things. And then they build a massive detention center within hell.
Like what?
And
This happens in a span of, and they conquer hell.
all these people that we're genocide, and like the vice president is very clear. He's like, all the demons need to die. So I don't know why we're detaining any of them, but they have to because the writer has written himself in a corner and he needs to have like Virgil show up. So
He also gives a speech and he declares
Storm's
war
coming.
on hell,
yeah.
and it's kind of fucking stupid. No, it is fucking stupid.
I don't like it.
Okay, and we do get a scene of Ouroboros Corporation, so we're gonna maybe have that in season 2. And then finally we get the ending, which is Virgil.
And the storm is coming. The
freeze.
storm is me.
I'm the storm.
Mackay
There's a
demons.
tempest
I
within
would
me.
have been in the back. That was lame.
Just leave.
Dead.
Virgil, you suck.
That's the best you can do.
You better do better than this. And so, I originally I was not liking the climactic battle. I thought it was the portal was too short. The demon thing, the fight just turned into big Bane smashing muscle smashing against the sword. So I was already at a 5, but then once you do that ending, I'm below average. I think it ended really poorly. I'm gonna do a 4
did.
out of 10. for
I was
me.
very fucking disappointed. I agree with that one. I didn't like it. So again, lady is just regular, right? She's got
She's
no
human.
demon. Okay, because like
Trish is the one that has demon blood.
yeah, because the rabbit was
demon.
fucking attacking the helicopter, and the helicopter was going down. Right before the helicopter crashes, she jumps out of the
Oh, yeah,
window
yeah.
and rolls. I was like, "Oh, you're alive."
I
Okay.
almost forgot about that.
I was like,
She
Is that how it
has
works?
peak acrobatic skills.
Yeah.
It's peak
"It's
humanity.
falling." Right
Yeah.
before,
They should have
let's
done
roll.
more with
Duck and roll.
explaining it. But.
Yeah, and then we get to the point where we finally think that Lady is going to be good, and she understands that it's important that
Yes.
Dante protect the thing.
Oh, I
and then
forgot
so
about that.
instead she
It's like, we're going to do a buddy cop thing, right? He's all excited about it.
yeah, and then she injects him and is like, "You're too dangerous," and so she turns him into the evil American corporation. They freeze him in kryptonite.
Oh, he gets frozen. That's right.
Yeah, he gets frozen, and then
So
it
now he's
ends.
going to need his brother to break him out, essentially,
Yeah,
is
and-
what's happening.
So I was at a 4, and then once they did the thing where I can't trust you, and they froze him in kryptonite. Like they did so. Like I do not want to watch season 2.
Yeah.
I'm not interested at all in anything they've set up. So I think the final episode's a 3. I think it's bad. It's a bad finale because now I actively I want to avoid season 2.
Yeah, because when next season it's gonna be Lady. He's like, "Oh, what happened to the refugees?" He's like, "Well, they ordered to kill him." He's like, "Oh, he's a bad guy. Now I gotta try to help him escape."
Well, that's it for us. We wanted to kind of give you our full opinions on each episode. It's a longer video, 8 episodes, and reviewing, again, the pros. The animations are cool. The fights are cool. They get some of the music right. Dante is young and dumb and wacky. He's supposed to be like that. So they're getting some elements right here. But the pros and the cons are kind of weighing it down. Some of the jokes, the one-liners aren't working. The dialogue, when there's too much dialogue and when it's trying too hard to be cool dialogue, like motherfucker, fucking Dante, fucking this, fucking that, I'm Lady, and motherfuck you. Yeah, that kind of stuff gets annoying, and yeah. So that's our review of Devil May Cry. Check it out. Tell us what you think in the comments down below, and yeah. I think that's it. What would y'all want to look for in a season 2?
New writers.
Yeah, new writers. Let's not have. I mean, I don't want a tiny role for Lady. I want a substantial role for her, but not where it's just going to
Honestly,
take away.
for right now, just
I
switch.
swear to God, if season
Just
2 is
switch.
50% her, and then we have even less because now we have to have Virgil, 25% Virgil, 25% Dante, 50% Lady, I'm going to be pissed. It needs to focus on Dante and Virgil this time around. Maybe they can go against, what's the big bad guy of Moon, what's his name? Mundus.
Yeah, but
Mundus.
Virgil
I'm
is
pretty sure Virgil is serving
him,
Mundus, and so he'll have to break free. So it could be really cool. I mean, you don't have to drag out Devil May Cry multiple seasons. I say at most 3. You know,
Let's save people from the detention center.
Yeah, well, how quick is Virgil's turn going
that'd
to
be
be?
episode 1.
So, like, in this, we had Lady's turn took all of 3 seconds. And so Virgil is right now, he is the champion of the evil devil.
So there's
and
got to
then
be a fight between
Dante's
Virgil.
like, hey, how about you
Dante.
don't do that? And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's
and
super
then that's,
easy.
that's
It's
going
like-
to be the turn.
First he says, no, fuck you. They have the fight. Then later
You think
on,
there should be a fight?
They have to have a fight between Dante and Virgil. Come on.
There was no fight here. Lady was just like,
There's
all
gonna
demons
be-
are evil. And then that's
No,
like,
but in
them-
season 2, they're gonna
Oh.
need fights. Yeah. So did anybody secretly make it through? Or is there somebody?
Shapeshifter's dead.
The
He killed himself.
shapeshifters.
Shapeshifter killed himself, right? There's just Anders basically
Yeah.
that they could use in season 2. Not looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Virgil's tease was supposed to be this big thing where it's like, yeah, but it just doesn't hit right, especially with the American forces, the U.S. forces invading and destroying,
Bombing hell.
like it's Afghanistan or something, or Iraq. I don't know what they're doing. Just stop it. So essentially, next season the demons will whoop their ass and just quickly whoop their ass. Whoop all the fucking Abrams tanks and Bradleys and soldiers and kick them out of hell, and then do a counterattack, and they realize, holy shit, these guys are way more powerful than we thought, and it has to be Virgil and Dante teaming up to stop it all. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. All right, and that's going to be it for us. Thank y'all so much for listening to us for this long-ass video, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.